Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for our annual In My Shoes event. I truly miss you all. Fundraisers, so many of us together. We get an opportunity to catch up and to be with one another. Even if they were too many, I do miss it. I am, however, excited for today's virtual experience, and I really thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in and supporting Bridges. I want to take a minute and say hello to a few of us joining on this live show. I see Bradley. I've been waiting for weeks. Reese, Jose Lopez, Donville. So thankful for you guys to be spending the afternoon with us. We know that these are truly challenging times, but as an old professor of mine used to say, we press on. And we press on to continue the work for the community and the people that we serve. I want to take a minute and say thank you to some of the organizations that support Bridges and this event. Really appreciate Atlantic Tomorrow's office, to PDI NicePack, Anchor Media Services, Lamb Insurance Services, Leah Toyota of Rockland, M&T Bank, Barard & Associates, and People's United Bank. In addition to every person that donated towards In My Shoes, thank you. We have your names rolling at the end of the event, but we want to thank you so much for your contributions and your support for our mission. And by the way, as many of you probably have seen, we do have a silent auction taking place online. Visit the link you see on your screen, hopefully on another device, and take some time to look out for some neat items available for bid. Feel free also to check out our website, bridgesrc.org, for information on who we are and information on the event and the link as well. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment of silence to stand in solidarity with all those that peacefully protest, seeking justice and change against the injustice that's occurred against people. We must pursue justice and we must pursue peace. Please join me for this moment. Thank you. Every year, our In My Shoes event is meant to share the stories and experiences of people with disabilities who fought and championed through the barriers that are placed by a society designed for us able-bodied people. The Bridges team is dedicated to removing barriers and advancing autonomy, like finding a home, getting a job, or getting free. It's wanting to be part of community, and that's also includes things like recreation and sports. So today I want to share with you the stories of people who embody that very philosophy, removing barriers and advancing autonomy. Take a look.
To the average person, adaptive sports is an opportunity for people to come together and have some fun. For people with disabilities, it's far greater than that. When I got around my teammates from wheelchair rugby, I saw individuals with far more significant injuries doing far greater things. It showed me what is possible, and I realized that I was limiting myself. Adaptive sports gave me my life back.
I do bowling with my coach and my teammates, and I love it. I love being with my friends. I love going to practices, and I just love everything about it. Whenever I'm down, like all my friends come up to me and include me. They're always there for me. They always will be, and I love them, and they feel like family to me.
Sports has had a huge impact on my recovery. I chose hand cycling because it's one of the few adaptive sports that can be done alone with other disabled friends, able-bodied friends on bicycles, or able-bodied friends just running alongside of you. Seeing other people accomplish their daily tasks and travel, it was truly inspiring, and it helped mold me into the person that I am today.
I have a very rare autoimmune disability called neuromyelitis optica, NMO. And if that wasn't enough, I now have a spinal cord injury, and I function as basically right now as a C5 quadriplegic. When I was a kid, I actually dreamed of maybe grooming for a rider that made it all the way to the National Horse Show. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that I myself would become a Paralympic athlete. What does access mean to me? I want to physically be able to go where I want to go. I want to have the courage to be able to go. And I want to be accepted where I decide to go. I don't want to be singled out. I don't want special accommodation. I just want a level playing field.
I am a member of the national team for U.S. Paralympic cycling and a Paralympic hopeful for the Tokyo 2020 Games. May 24th, 2014, on Memorial Day weekend, I had mistakenly dove into shallow water, which burst my T5 and T6 vertebrae and ultimately left me paralyzed from the chest down. I was actually preparing to run my first marathon right before I got injured. So I had contacted the Marine Corps Marathon and had asked them, would it be possible to switch my registration from a runner into the hand cycle division? That mindset change that, if I could accomplish this just 4 months after being hurt, I'm going to be able to accomplish anything. Yet it's going to be different. There's going to be challenges, there's going to be adversity to overcome. But if I could get my mind around this, there's nothing that's going to stand in my way.
I was born with a condition called cerebral palsy. It essentially robs me of my balance and coordination. I think the biggest misconception about people with disabilities is that we can't lead normal lives, or we can't necessarily do epic things. And as time has gone on, I've come to realize that is not the case even remotely. Anything that happens to you, good, bad, or indifferent, is an opportunity to learn if you approach it with the right mindset. Because there are positives to everything. You just have to take it with the right mindset. I can do anything anybody else can, I just do it a little bit differently.
I see we have a few more people joining us. Thank you to Bill from Team Atlantic's office, getting on, Kia Graham from Team Anchor, Craig Chef, Karen. Man, I really appreciate you guys spending the time with us this afternoon. So cool to see all the various perspectives. And the one thing that they all have in common is their desire to want to be independent and to be part of community. And while the people shown on this video you just saw don't represent all of the disabilities in our community, they do demonstrate a common strength that I've seen throughout, and that's resilience. We are resilient people who are willing to fight and to press on to find ways to improve the systems that we rely on so that they are designed for all to experience life with value and equity. So I have a trivia question for all of you tuning in. We have a special prize for the first person to answer correctly. Yes, it's okay to Google it. Take your time to research, but you have to be the fastest to post in the comments. You ready? How many independent living centers are there in the state of New York? And in one sentence, not a paragraph, please, in one sentence, tell me why they exist to begin with. And I'll mention that one more time. How many independent living centers are there in the state of New York? And in one sentence, tell me why they exist to begin with. The person to respond with the correct answer first will receive a shout out at the end of this and claim their prize. You don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so get your answer in. I see a few other people joining us. Thank you so much, Esther, Risa, Jess Goldman, Dara from Team Bridges, all right? So good to have you guys on. Next up, guys, last year we had a really unique chance, an opportunity to bring people together for a game of softball with a twist. And that was such a fun day. It allows able-bodied folks to play together with our friends who are wheelchair users, and we had such a great time. Check out this short clip.
Our mission here today was to create an activity fully inclusive.
It's inspirational for me to see my friends literally rolling in my shoes for a day. It's a privilege and an honor to be here.
You get people into the chairs like this, whether you're disabled, not disabled. We had a lot of fun. I think everybody's looking forward to next year and can't wait to come out.
Hello everyone. It is an honor to introduce the recipient of the Bridges Advocacy Award. He's a near dear friend of mine. What do adaptive sports programs mean to individuals with disabilities? Well, the obvious answer is that it provides an opportunity for individuals to improve strength and cardiovascular health. However, the benefits go far beyond that. Many individuals struggle with the reality of life after their disability. Simple tasks become major events. Individuals feel isolated and alone. They find safety in their homes and fear the effort it would take to leave their safe haven. Remember the first time that I met Peter Gagliardo. A therapist at Helen Hayes Hospital had asked me to come in and mentor a young man who had suffered a spinal cord injury after a motorcycle accident. As I entered his room, I was greeted by a young man in a manual wheelchair with a slightly crooked New York Rangers hat on and a smile. He had a drive and a determination that I had not seen in a young man before. He was embracing life. However, I saw an athlete who was missing that same passion for sports that he once had. Prior to his accident, Peter lived on the ice, playing hockey. I wanted to see him find that same passion and enthusiasm that he had. I remember when Peter found that love again. It was in the form of hand cycling. After his first ride, I saw that gleam and excitement in Peter's eyes again that he once described for having for hockey. I was so excited for him. He wasted no time. He was online ordering a hand cycle and having his father install a bike rack on the back of his car. He was buying jerseys, researching races, and sharing the benefits of hand cycling to anyone that would listen. Pete has the drive and excitement for Helen Hayes adapted sports that I have. He has a vision for expansion and development, and he's modified many of the current programs to be more inclusive. He has helped Helen Hayes Hospital adapted sports program to continue down the path of growth. This award is more than just one person. It honors an institution that made this program possible. If not for the support of Helen Hayes Hospital administration, this program could not exist. They were always able to find funding for equipment and continue program growth. From the onset, they saw the benefits of a program of this nature to help continue the recovery and support. From the initial approval to take a young man skiing again after a spinal cord injury, to the purchase of over 55 pieces of equipment, Helen Hayes Hospital has seen the vision for the program and supported it 100%. They even helped find funding for a full-time staff member and the purchase of a 12-seater adapted sports bus to transport equipment and individuals to and from clinics. Helen Hayes Hospital Adapted Sports Program is a 12-month-a-year, 4-season program that's nationally recognized as a disabled sports chapter and a Paralympic chapter. Adapted sports programs like this provide so much to individuals around the world. I'd like to thank Bridges for recognizing the need for and importance of these programs. I especially would like to thank Helen Hayes Hospital for supporting the growth and development of the program. It is with great pleasure that I present the Bridges Advocacy Award to my friend, Peter Gagliardo, the Adaptive Sports Coordinator at Helen Hayes Hospital.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to start off by thanking Bridges for honoring the Adaptive Sports Program at Helen Hayes Hospital with this beautiful award. It's a great honor to be recognized. The Helen Hayes Adaptive Sports Program is one of the largest adaptive sports programs in the Northeast. It spans all 4 seasons, from snow skiing to water skiing, to taking the sky in a glider plane or cycling around Rockland Lake. We make sure people with disabilities can continue to experience sports after an injury or try activities for the first time. But the Adaptive Sports Program at Helen Hayes Hospital, it's so much more than sports. The program offers an area of growth in every aspect of an individual's life. Most of our participants, they come for the sports and they stay for the camaraderie, the supports, and the friendships that they build. This is something that I can personally attest to. When I was a participant in this program over a decade ago, dating myself, I just wanted to get out of the house. I wanted to try something new. And over the years, I forged bonds and I learned things from others that have kept me wanting to come back to these activities time and time again. Being around other people going through the same struggles as myself, yet still achieving things that I never thought possible, is excellent motivation. Being able to learn from somebody who has done it before and knowing that I wasn't the only person going through these tough times was really great. And now, over a decade later, I get to facilitate these activities. I get to pass on my skills, knowledge, and empower our participants. I get to encourage them to get as much out of the Adaptive Sports Program as I have. Not knowing what my future held for me all those years ago, when I started in the Adaptive Sports Program, I got to see how it shaped me, and I get to see how it's going to shape the participants that are involved with it today. I like to think that I'm creating a better version of themselves because I feel like I created a better version of myself with this program. So I just want to thank you all once again for this honor and for supporting our mission to enrich lives. Thank you.
Quick shout out to Carmine, the CEO of ARC of Rockland. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I see some team members from Bridges, Mercedes, Sabine, Caitlin, and of course, Sarah, CEO at VCS. Thank you guys so much for joining us online. And of course, back to Peter. Congratulations, Peter. You and the Helen Hayes team have built a program that passionately enables people to begin life again using new tools and connected to new resources. It's uplifting and it's so important. This year, we're so pleased to have been able to custom make the awards like you saw Peter holding. These awards were created by hand by Unique Metal Arts. We worked together through an intensive amount of drawings and text messages to put something together that would offer our awardees a symbol of what Bridges' vision is for our county and how each awardee contributes to that vision for a barrier-free society. The award itself has 2 components. The circular part you see at the top. This part of the award speaks to the importance of universal design and accessibility. Whether you're building stairs or a web page, a toilet seat or a phone, independent living centers across the nation, as well as other disability rights groups, fight to ensure that these tools and access points for businesses and personal life are designed thinking about people with disabilities first. Because as Elise Roy so eloquently put it, and I paraphrase, when you design for people with disabilities first, everyone benefits. See, the disability community desires for architects, engineers, clothing, digital and media designers who will think about a blind person, a deaf person, someone who's autistic, CP, our seniors, parents who use strollers. Design for people with disabilities first, and everybody benefits. And the second part to the award is the key. When you look at the whole award, the key symbolizes access and accessibility. So, universal design and access. I'm so thankful to Unique Metal Arts for their hard work in making these truly beautiful pieces a reality. want to take a minute to remind you to check out our silent auction page at the web address on the screen. Items will be available to bid on until 2:30 p.m. today. This next short video offers a view into one of Rockland's gems. Take a look.
We started the Rockland Challenger League about 4 years ago because most kids with autism and special needs, they tend to shy away, and it's a great opportunity to be part of a structure that they could interact with other children.
I want to show everyone what I'm made of and what I accomplished.
It's fun to hit balls and then catch the balls and then play defense.
I got to play baseball my whole life, and then for my siblings to be able to play, it's just the most amazing experience of my life.
It gave us a special time to bond and grow and get into community of other people like my son. It's been amazing.
I've watched these kids grow up, I've seen them improve, and to me it's not about their disability, it's about showing us their ability every week.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to have the opportunity to talk about my friend Marissa today. I have known Marissa since we were in middle school, where fittingly enough we met on the softball team, where she was the pitcher and I was the catcher. We're an unstoppable pair. On the field, Marissa led our team with dedication, passion, and drive to not just better herself but others around her. The leadership Marissa showed as a pitcher continues to be seen in her dedication to Rockland County Challenger Little League today. When we were younger, I asked Marissa if she wanted to join me to volunteer with my siblings who were playing Challenger, and she immediately said yes. She enjoyed spending time with my siblings, and including baseball made her that much more passionate about it. During Marissa's tenure with Challenger, she has moved from a buddy who works with a player one-to-one to allow them to play as independently as possible, to coach, manager, and ultimately to our executive director. Marissa has dedicated over 20 years to supporting individuals with disabilities to be as independent as possible while playing America's game. I can say with certainty that our league has been impacted significantly with Marissa as our executive director. We've been able to include an adult division where players like my siblings who had previously aged out now get the chance to play again. We've expanded the number of players, we've expanded the teams, and we continue to grow the number of volunteers who can experience the joys of Challenger. Marissa, I truly know the players and families of Challenger Little League are thankful for the continued commitment and dedication you have shown in Challenger year after year. Your devotion, passion, and love of the game are exemplified when you speak about Challenger, and when you step on the field, you truly embody the spirit of Challenger Little League. I'm forever grateful to call you my friend, my daughter's Aunt Rissa, but more importantly today, I'm proud to present to you the Bridges Empowerment Award.
Thank you, Deidre, for your kind words. And thank you to Carlos, Nancy, and the rest of Bridges for this remarkable recognition. However, this award is so much bigger than me. It's about Challenger, a program that has touched the lives of hundreds of players with disabilities, their parents, and an amazing group of volunteers. Of players who may not have otherwise had the opportunity to experience the joy of playing America's favorite pastime. Of parents, some with watery eyes of bliss, who have been able to watch the actions from the stands cheering for their all-stars. And volunteers with enormous hearts who have been given the opportunity to make the difference in the lives of our players. I personally was introduced to Challenger in 1997 as a buddy thanks to the Novak family. Having played Little League my entire childhood, I know the thrill that comes from being at home plate, waiting for the perfect pitch, hitting the ball, rounding the bases, and scoring a run. Through Challenger, individuals with disabilities experience that same thrill and feeling of personal success. It's incredible to see how happy our players are when they play because they so much just want to be a part of the game. My favorite moment each season is not the first pitch, an awesome catch, or a home run. It comes at the end of each Challenger season as I watch our players claim their awards and celebrate their personal accomplishments. Challenger is not about what our players can't do, but what they prove to us they can do. While there are many moments that stand out in my time with Challenger, these are a few of the moments that have had the biggest impact. One player overcame leukemia twice, and with it, the ravages of chemotherapy. But even with all the struggles, there he was, every game, overcoming adversity and smiling from ear to ear at Challenger. To this day, there is no stopping Mark, short of rounding all the bases, regardless of the umpire's call. Another player battled debilitating surgeries, but even after being bound to a wheelchair, Joseph was immediately asking when his next Challenger game was, and he shows up each week ready to play and cheer on his teammates. I'd also like to share something one of our Challenger parents once wrote to truly illustrate the positive impact Challenger has not only on the lives of our players, but also their families. This mom stated, "Then one day, I like to think by a miracle, Challenger Little League came into our lives. As a matter of course, I was skeptical because of past experiences. So the family packed into the car and off we went with hope in our hearts that today would be different. As soon as we arrived, my little T-baller was welcomed with big smiles and even bigger hearts. As I sat on the bench, which was a first for me because in the past I always had to be on the field with my daughter, I watched how attentive all the Challenger staff members were. The energy and love they have for their children is overwhelming. So there I sat with tears trickling down my face thinking, sweetheart, you are exactly where you deserve to be." These moments make me thankful for the opportunities Challenger has afforded me, and with that, I would like to thank the people who are here to support me. Our Challenger board, who without them, our season would not be possible. Our Challenger coaches and volunteers, who are the heart of the organization and unconditionally support and encourage our players. My family and friends, thank you for your endless support, both on and off the field. And my mother, who is my voluntold personal assistant, supported me through every softball game and then transitioned to be the ultimate Challenger mom. I never would have thought I'd still be involved with Challenger 23 years later, but the players have made an unforgettable impact on my life and hold a special place in my heart, just like this award will. Thank you to Bridges and congratulations to my fellow honorees, Sean McGee and the Adapted Sports and Recreation Program at Helen Hayes. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm very pleased to be introducing Sean McGee, recipient of the Atlantic Tomorrow's Office Leadership Award. If you know Sean at all, you are familiar with two facts. He's Irish and he's a Navy veteran. I did a little research and found this definition of an Irish personality quoted from the eminent historian Carl Whitke. The so-called Irish temperament is a mixture of flaming ego, hot temper, stubbornness, great personal charm and warmth, and a wit that shines through adversity. I then delved into the Navy and found its core values: honor, courage, and commitment. And last, I looked up the definition of Anchor, the name of Sean's company, a company that wasn't named by accident, as the anchor represents security, stability, and being grounded. I think you see where I'm going. All of these descriptors depict the person and leader Sean is, for his family, his business, and his community. I have worked with Sean in several capacities. While he served as a Bridges board member, while he currently serves as a member of the advisory board for the PFC Joseph B. Dwyer Veteran Peer Support Program, and as the rally champion for the national relay of Carry the Load. He is the type of leader that one can count on, and unlike the flaming ego described before, he leads with humility. I have found that when I ask for a favor for a veteran, the answer is always yes. His generosity and philanthropy are extraordinary. Sean's come a long way from his first job of mowing lawns, a simple fact I learned from an Irish Times article during my deep dive into all things Sean McGee. Advice given to him by his father early on, I think, has shaped the leader Sean is today. Apply yourself, a concept that permeates his work and life. And to that point, I'd like to introduce Dave King, Chief Financial Officer at Anchor Trading. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine, and I agree with everything you just said about Sean, especially the part about the flaming ego. You really hit the nail on the head with that one. Anyway, I have a bit of a different perspective about Sean from you, as I've known him for the last 25 years and have worked with him for almost 20 of those. We started working together at Active International for almost 10 years. We took a little break, and then we met up on a street corner in the Chelsea section of Manhattan, and we had a conversation, which shall remain private. But based on that conversation, we've been working together ever since. So I've worked in finance my entire career, and I've seen all types of executive leadership across different industries. Some of these leaders were keenly analytic, and they were focused solely on numbers and efficiencies. Others had visions of a global presence and would stop at nothing to have offices in major cities around the world. Some leaders talked a good game, but the reality was, it was all about them and their ego and what they could do for themselves. And that brings me to Sean McGee. In all the years I've worked, I've never met a leader like Sean McGee. The adjectives I'm about to use to describe Sean as a leader are words that do not easily apply to others I've worked with. Words like grateful, giving, sincere, honest, charitable, forthright, a person who truly cares about those who work with him, a person who wants his team to succeed and gives them the tools and resources to do just that. He may not do it with hearts and flowers all the time, but his mission is to build people up and make them the best they can be. But his leadership of Anchor is only one aspect of Sean. His sense of honor and duty, his love for his family, and his faith helped define him as the man he is today. His willingness to give of his time, efforts, and resources to support worthy causes like Bridges, the Joseph P. Dwyer Peer Support Program, the USO, Carry the Load, Baking Memories for Kids, Memorial Order of the Purple Heart, and various others speak volumes as the type of person that Sean is. Part of the reason that Sean founded Anchor was twofold, to provide employment opportunities to veterans and to give to charities that support veteran causes. And like many other young companies just starting out, Anchor experienced times that were challenging. Even through these tougher times, Sean has stayed sharply professoring and has never wavered from his commitments to provide both opportunity and charitable support to the veteran community he is part of. I'm going to leave you with this. It's the easiest thing in the world to do the right thing when times are good. When things are tough, that's when the true measure of a person's character is shown. I cannot think of a more appropriate way to describe Sean McGee and who he is as a person and why he is so deserving of this reward. Sean, on behalf of myself, the team at Anchor, and all the people who are watching us, congratulations on receiving the Atlantic Tomorrow Office Leadership Award. We're really proud of what you do and who you are. And I'm going to turn it over to Mike Lister.
Thank you, Dave. And welcome, everybody, to my living room. Well, Sean, as you know, I'm a man of few words, so I'm going to make this short and sweet. Congratulations on winning the Atlantic Tomorrow Office Business Leadership Award. Well deserved. That's all I got.
Thank you, Lorraine, Dave, and Mike. Very kind words. There's certainly two things that are out there now, and that is that I'm Irish and I love all things Navy. So I appreciate the award. So I actually have the award right here. So thank you so much. I just want to say just a few words. I've never been keen on receiving an award for doing something that we're supposed to be doing anyways, which is helping people in need when they're down and out. So it's never been a thing of mine in terms of that respect, but it is something that drew me to Bridges many years ago, and that is what Bridges is all about, and it's about helping others. wake up every day. The folks at Bridges do incredible work. They wake up every day just to help other people live independently or provide an ear when they need to speak to someone or families in need. Bridges has always been there. So I'm honored to be part of the Bridges family and extremely humbled to receive such an award. While I am the one receiving this award today, I do want to extend an extreme amount of gratitude on how we all got here. When we started Anchor 6 years ago and providing, veteran support and hiring veterans and helping charities both in and out of the military and veteran community, it was done by a collective group of family, friends, and the entire team at Anchor. So I accept this award on behalf of all those people that were there through thick and thin. It wasn't easy from the beginning. It certainly isn't easy now, but we're definitely going to get through it. So again, I accept everything on behalf of all of those people that have been there, both my family, my friends, and the entire team at Anchor. So I just want to, again, thank everyone at Bridges. I'm honored and humbled to receive this great award. And from what I understand, it was designed by a local vet. So super cool, super cool. So it turns like this. I believe it's a key, if you will. So thank you so much. And just everyone, please stay safe. We're in trying times, but we're all going to get through it. So God bless. And I'll leave you with 4 very important words, which I know everyone at Anchor lives by, and that is, go Navy, beat Army.
Oh man, can't wait to see the few that comes out of that. Just want to say hi to a few other people that I've seen on the chat. Thank you so much to Millie Gonzalez for joining us. Karen Roro as well, so thank you for joining us. And Julie Sadowski, the CEO of the Rockland Community Foundation, which I also fortunately serve on the board. So thank you for joining us this afternoon. Congratulations, Marissa, on a well-deserved award. I love how you empower young people with disabilities to give it their all on the field. And again, congratulations to Sean on receiving our Atlantic Tomorrow's Office Leadership Award. Sean's support to the organization offers us opportunities to serve the veteran community, veterans with disabilities, to access various areas of services, and also in the area of recreation, things like and activities that we do in the community that help veterans come together in the community as one. And it's so awesome to see that. And Sean's, for these types of services, those things become a reality. So Sean, thank you. The time you dedicate to our veterans with disabilities, as well as your commitment to serving the community, is so immensely appreciated. We're so pleased to have presented you this award today. I am pleased to announce that along with each award, each honoree has received certificates of recognition from Rockland's 5 town supervisors, as well as our county executive. Remember, everyone, to check out our auction items at the link shown right here. You have opportunities to bid on items up until 2:30 p.m. when the bidding site closes. And now I'm going to ask for a moment. Look for the person who answered the trivia question correctly and the fastest. So hang on 1 second there. All right, congratulations to Esther Schulman. You were the first person to answer it correctly on YouTube, I believe. Out of all the social media platforms, you answered correctly. Yes, there are 41 independent living centers across New York State. And there are more satellites that add to that. As essentially, yeah, we exist to remove barriers and advance autonomy for people with disabilities. So give yourself applause. There were actually a few more people as well that gave some great responses. Adam Bender, Karen Roro, Lindsay Goldman, and Mercedes. You guys gave some great responses. Thank you for for joining in on that. Removing barriers. Barriers is anything that's in the way of a person's ability to be independent. And advancing autonomy, each person's track or their goal for independence, self-governance, and self-determination. You know, sometimes people hear the word independence and they think people want to be alone, isolated, or unbothered. But the truth is, it's quite the contrary. It's about being able to make choices without being blocked because of your disability. And even more, it's about being valued as a member of your community and having a community that understands interdependence. Truth is that we all need each other to grow, develop, and succeed. And this is why it's so important that we look for ways as a community to ensure that in every aspect of life, and regardless of disability, people can be part of community and enjoy the opportunities that come with equitable access. So please continue to join us, support us in our efforts to removing barriers to autonomy. And one more time, congratulations to all our honorees. Thank you for your collective efforts that help Rockland County become a more accessible county. And finally, if you haven't already, please remember, subscribe to Bridges' YouTube page, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. You can keep going through all the other social media platforms. But we appreciate you for sharing your time with us this afternoon. Please stay safe and healthy. I hope to see many of you in person very soon. Take care.